Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of rom-coms, family drama, and heartfelt moments, you've clicked on the right video today. We're talking about the sequel to the hit 2020 movie Rich in Love, and it's Rich in Love 2, 2023. This movie takes us back into the glamorous world of high society Brazil, but this time, things are a bit more complicated, with deeper relationships, family dynamics, and some twists that make this a perfect follow-up. If you haven't seen it yet or want a full breakdown of all the drama and heart, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll explore the plot, character development, key themes, and what makes Rich in Love 2 such a great sequel. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and let's dive deep into the world of Rich in Love 2. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications on all things movies and TV shows. Let's get into it. Alright, let's kick things off with the setup. Rich in Love 2 picks up a few years after the events of the first movie, where we saw Teto, played by Danilo Mesquita, and Paula, played by Giovanna Cordero, fall in love despite their contrasting backgrounds, Teto being a wealthy heir and Paula being from a modest background. In the first movie, we watched them navigate their differences, family expectations, and their personal growth as a couple. Now, in the sequel, we find Teto and Paula at a crossroads. They're still in love, but the pressures of both their professional lives and their families are starting to strain their relationship. Teto has now taken on more responsibility at the family business, and he's trying to balance that with his love life. Paula, on the other hand, is still trying to make her mark in the world, working hard to pursue her career ambitions, but it's clear that her own desires are pulling her in a different direction than Teto. At the start of the movie, we see them dealing with what looks like the perfect relationship, but the cracks begin to show, and this is where the tension begins to build. They're busy with their respective lives, and while they're still in love, they can't seem to find the time for each other. So, what's the main conflict of this movie? Teto and Paula are both dealing with the demands of their personal and professional lives, and they're not as connected as they used to be. And just like any great rom-com, this sets the stage for some fun and dramatic moments as they try to navigate through these issues. As we move into Act 2, we see the relationship between Teto and Paula become more strained. One of the biggest themes of this movie is the idea of finding balance. How can you balance love with career, family, and your own dreams? Teto is heavily involved in his family's company, but he's finding it increasingly difficult to step out of his father's shadow. He wants to assert his own identity and vision, but that's easier said than done when your family has such high expectations. Paula, on the other hand, is trying to pursue her own career goals. She's a strong, independent woman, but she finds herself torn between following her own dreams and her relationship with Teto. The pressure on both of them is intense, and while they love each other, it seems like their futures might be leading them down different paths. Now, this is where things get interesting. Both Teto and Paula start to experience personal growth in different ways. Teto begins to realize that maybe he's been letting his family control his future too much, and he needs to carve out a path that's his own. Paula, on the other hand, is finally starting to get some recognition in her career, but with that comes the inevitable sacrifice of personal time. They both face choices that make them question what they want, not just from each other, but from life. And of course, just when you think things might get back on track, we have some family drama. Teto's family, particularly his father, continues to have their own expectations for him, and that creates a wedge between him and Paula. Meanwhile, Paula's family pressures her in a more subtle way, expecting her to settle down and prioritize family. The cultural expectations on both sides create a lot of tension, and it's clear that they need to confront these issues head-on if they want their relationship to survive. Now, in Act 3, the stakes are higher. We see Teto and Paula drifting further apart. Teto has been spending more time with his family and dealing with the pressures of the business, while Paula has become more focused on her career and personal growth. It looks like their paths are diverging, and we start to wonder, will they stay together? One of the most pivotal moments of the film happens when Teto decides to make a bold move. He takes a step back from the family business and asks himself, what do I really want? Does he want to live his life just trying to meet his family's expectations, or does he want to pursue a different path, one that might involve Paula, but on his own terms? This is a huge turning point for his character, and it sets up the emotional climax of the movie. Paula, too, faces a big moment of realization. She has been so focused on her career that she's neglected her relationship with Teto. But now, she has to decide whether her personal goals are worth the cost of her relationship, and whether she's truly willing to compromise for love. The movie beautifully explores the idea of compromise in relationships. How far are you willing to go for the people you love? At what point do you sacrifice for the other person, and at what point do you need to assert your own desires and goals? Now, we get to the emotional climax. Teto and Paula both have their realizations about what truly matters. After a few missteps, misunderstandings, and a lot of soul-searching, they realize that their love for each other is worth fighting for. But they also need to find a way to balance their personal goals and their relationship. One of the most touching scenes comes when Teto makes a gesture that shows he's ready to put his relationship with Paula first. He makes a big decision about his future, and it's a moment that really hits you in the heart. Paula, too, makes a sacrifice, and she's finally ready to accept that love and career don't have to be mutually exclusive. The film ends on a hopeful note, with Teto and Paula coming together, stronger than ever, but now with a deeper understanding of each other and the compromises required to make their relationship work. The final scenes show them embarking on a new chapter, but this time, they're doing it together, fully in sync. So, what's the big takeaway from Rich in Love 2? It's a film that shows us the importance of finding balance in life, especially when it comes to love, career, and family. Teto and Paula's journey reminds us that relationships take work, compromise, and sometimes sacrifice. But in the end, true love isn't about giving up your dreams, it's about supporting each other in achieving them together. If you haven't watched Rich in Love 2 yet, I highly recommend checking it out, especially if you enjoyed the first movie. It's a beautiful continuation of Teto and Paula's love story, with more depth and emotional stakes. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know what you think about the movie in the comments below. What did you think about the growth of Teto and Paula as characters? And what's your favorite moment from Rich in Love 2? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.